Okay, today we are going to be installing a Cornell four-way lightning fixture. So we just unboxed this and it came with all kind of parts. Here go our mounting that we're going to put up to our ceiling right there. Then here goes the little electrical cord, I forgot what these are called, but we tied the wires to those. Alright, and it comes with the little links right here, so that way it can hang high or low. But I think that we're not going to be using all of these, so we're going to see how that goes. And let's try to assemble this. First steps that we're going to do is that we're going to put this together. Just going to run this through the hole like that. And then it comes with a little knob. Put that little knob up on there, like this. And we're just gonna screw it down. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now, I must say that whenever we was unboxing this, that the wires are not color coded at all. So normally you'll have a white wire, a black wire, and a ground wire. So the ground wire is still like, it's recognizable. But as far as your neutral wire and your live wire, it says something like smooth wire, and it has little different languages for that. And then it has something about a ribble wire. So what we're going to go off of is the L. L stands for live, so that's going to be your black wire. And we're going to go N for neutral. That is normally your white wire. And ground wire, it says it right there. We're going to say G is for ground. So we got ground, live, and neutral. Our next step is going to be to hook up this and this together. So normally you have these four little prongs on the inside right here. I already took off two of the little knobs on this side. So we're going to slide in this little circle part right in there, because this has two holes in it. And we're just going to try to slide that right up in there like this. Just like that. The other hole, just like that. Then we're going to take our little tops that come with it, just going to screw it on there. Got to hand tighten it. I wouldn't use a screwdriver because it looks like it can be hand tightened. Now when you're done, it should look something like this. Now we're going to slide this on down. The ground wire is a little tricky, been a little difficult, but we're just going to screw this on there like this. Screw it on down. And then after we get this one, uh-oh, there go that ground wire again. Okay, now after we screw it down, if you're like me, you probably won't be needing this really long chain. I thought that I could probably adjust this chain, like break it off or cut it some type of way, but I know for a fact the way our kitchen is, we won't need all of this. So I'm going to try to find a way that I can break some of these links loose, for that way it won't hang as low, because what I don't want is for it to be all kind of bulkied up like that, and it's in our main area, our kitchen area. So I'm going to try to do is find a tool to break these loose and try to get it to the lengths that we need. So there's going to be two attachment links right here. So this is going to go, one is going to go at the bottom right here to connect this one. And if you don't need to break some of these links loose, what you're going to do is just simply hook it up to right there. If you need the all of the links to accommodate your kitchen, to let it hang low and have the right brightness setting, then you don't need to break it. But for my kitchen, we have a little kitchen, so I'm thinking that I might have to break the links loose. I say I might get something to break it loose, like a tool. Try to see if I can do it with my hand. I can't do it with my hand, so I'm going to get a tool. You might need that, or you may not need that type of adjustment, but I know I do. All right, turn on the light. This would be like the length that it would be in our kitchen if we did not break the links off. So we don't want it looking sloppy where it's kind of all bunched up at the top. So I'm thinking that we might just need we might just got the wrong like settings, because I don't know how we're gonna do this. Okay, pause. This will be too long for our kitchen to just show the people what it'll look like if we hung this up in our kitchen. Way too big. Did you zoom out? This is way too big. Okay, even if we had it like this on one link or two, it'd be kind of hanging down like this. So I had an idea before we just gave up and returned it. Come in a little closer. So we're going to take off this little knob right here, and we're going to try to take off those right there. We're going to try to take off this little knob here. I'm going to try to see if we can, you know, give it a little short neck. Okay. I'm going to take off this right here. Unscrew it. Okay, you can hit pause. Okay, so, okay, zoom out. So what we're going to try to do is try to give it a short neck. So I took off the long neck. I kept this little hook part right here. Try to run the wires back through it and try to screw that down to the bottom. And yeah, try to see if we can do it this way. Before we just return it, because we did take a while making this decision on which one we wanted. So now let's do it this way. Okay. So it seems like if it can screw on, we probably got something here. Okay. Look like it's screwing on. Alright. So we are doing it without the long neck. Okay. So I'm thinking that we can probably do this with 2 links. So what I have come up with is that we're going to be using only 2 links, the 2 adjustable links. We're going to link it to this one, to our mounting one. And this is just for demonstrations only. So this is for only demonstration only. So these are our 2 adjustable links. So then I'm going to be kind of like adjusting it like this way, doing it this way. If you need the flash, it's a flash button. Oh, gotta go to. Right
it's blurry like that.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing it this way, like that. So this is going to be our short neck. Well, really no neck. Okay. So then that way we can try to get it up there. Try to get, like, you know, a good example of how it's going to be before we start on it. And I will always say, do the same thing, okay? Try to see where it's going to be at and kind of adjust it as you go. If you need it to be longer or shorter, I will always say, you know, do the adjusting before you just assume that it'll fit. Because as you can see, our ceilings isn't that high in our kitchen, so which require a no neck. And if you need it, you can put it on there, but as you can see, we don't need it. Okay, so now we are at our installment. Pause. So now what we have to do is we have to go outside to our breaker and turn it off. Okay, so now we are at our breaker box. So now what we have to do is cut off our kitchen, family room, nook, and patio. Okay, so let's turn off the kitchen right there. And I don't think that our refrigerator GFIs have to be turned off, so let's just see what we're looking like when we go back in. As you can see, our light is not turning on and off, so that means that the breaker is turned off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the screws. Well, first we have to take down the light bulbs first. Pause. Okay, now that we got the light bulbs down, what we're going to do now is just loosen up the screws that's mounting this up. Like I say, you want to make sure that your breaker is turned off before you do any work. Okay. It's up there. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to get our killing tools, our live wire reader. And if it blinks red, that means it's live. If it stays green, that means it's good to work on. That means everything is really good to work on. Nothing's going off, nothing's turning red. Everything is staying green. Always double check. And we are good to work on this. Remember, do not start on any work without turning off the breaker or getting your Kalen tool out, your Kalen tool meter reader or whatever this thing is called. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to unloosen our wire caps. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Do it like that, like so, like that. And there you go. We have it loose. Make sure the light is on. Before we get started, make sure that you identify your live one. And if you're going to do a short neck like me, you did have to slide it all off in order to make it a short neck. And this was the thing that made it slide all the way off. And when you slide this off, the stickers are going to come off. So if you can remember exactly which wires is which, try your hardest to try to at least keep one label on there, for that way you can know which one is the other one. So like I do all of my light fixtures, I always give myself a little bit more slack. I'm going to be trimming this wire to our needs. There you go. This one was cut at 0.2, so you're going to go to 0.2 right there. Now we're cutting our neutral wire. It's a little sloppy. Okay, so I'm gonna go to up to 1.6. Okay. I'll give this one a little bit more room too. And remember, when you're doing this, try to get your wire wrapped all the way around the proper wires. Okay, so there should be no wire wrapped around any plastic at all. A bracket, make sure, turn it to where it's going to be screwing it on there. We're going to be taking this nail right here and putting it in this hole. Okay. Try to make sure it's aligned up properly. All right, one nail in, one more to go. Let's see. And just like that, seems like there's enough slack on these wires right here. I mean, not enough slack, but enough wire exposed for us to put on our attachments. I mean, our other wires. Pause. We should get the wires. Okay, so what I just figured out, what I'm going to have to do is I am going to have to cut this wire very short, and I'm not going to try to lose place of which wire is which. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it all the way down, strip it all the way down, strip it all the way down. Don't be scared. Just strip it all the way down. And then remember, we don't know which wire is which. That's why we kept on our sticker. So that's why we're going to slide our live wire all the way down to let us know which wire is which. If we know one wire from the other wire, since it's only 3 wires, we should know that this is our black wire. Okay, so we're gonna cut it probably down to like maybe right here, right there. Okay, I'll cut it down to right there. Pause. So what I did was cut this all the way down. I still have my live wire right here telling me that this is live, this is neutral, and this is my ground wire. So now what I'm going to do is cut my ground wire to about the same length as this one. Just like that. Now let's restrip again. So now that I have my wire stripped, it is time to hang them up. What we're going to do is we're going to wrap around our live wire to our live wire like this. Okay, now we're going to take the top. Okay. I'm going to take that top, just kind of screwed on there really, really, really tight. And then we're going to take our neutral wire and do the exact same thing. We're gonna take that wire, and I like to go the same direction that I'm screwing on the top, so that way that it doesn't come unravel. So like I said, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So what we're going to be doing is going clockwise. So that's going towards the right. So whenever I put it the top on there, it can be not loosening it up, but tighten it up as well. Okay. And then we're going to be doing the same thing with our ground wire. All of these up on there, we can finally raise this up like that. Put all our cords in the hole. Make sure nothing comes loose while you're stuffing it. Everything is still attached. So what we're gonna do is take that, screw this on there like this. Actually, we don't have to hold. So now to give that a little relief. Okay, pause. Okay, now what's gonna save you some time? Do not make the same mistakes as I did, because I went into this thinking that this was gonna be a plug and play. We have lights, it's on, it's working properly. But what you wanna do is, you definitely, for example, I'm doing this with one hand. I ran into so many problems. You guys don't have no idea what I went through to try to get this right. So whenever you are installing this, you definitely want to make sure that this is down first. Okay, so I'm going to show you the few little problems I ran into. Well, a lot of problems, because I can't tell you how many times I hooked up and I unhooked, I hooked up and I unhooked, I hooked up and I unhooked, I hooked up and I unhooked. Oh my gosh. So I'm trying to see if I can save you guys some times. So what I did was, what you have to do is, you got to run this wire through this bracket before you hook it up. Okay, so, and then in my first video, well, this video, I had cut the wire, but I had cut it a little bit too short. You see how close those wires are to the hole? Yeah. So imagine trying to hold up this thing. Oh yeah, and I did have to take it loose. So that's another thing I have to tell you guys. Before you hook it up, just hook up this. Don't hook up this little round part. Do not put on these little round parts right here. Just leave on this part, this little bracket that it comes with. And what you're gonna do is, you're gonna have this bracket. You're gonna run the wires through this right here, through this. You're gonna run it through this right here, then through the bracket. Make sure you have plenty of slack. Plenty of slack, okay? Don't cut it short like I did. Make sure you have plenty of slack. And I cannot say this enough. Make sure that whenever you take off this little part right here, that little part, make sure that it is under the plate. And make sure you have your plate on. So it should look like this. Look, once you slide all of the wires through, you're gonna slide off this little part, unhook it, slide on this thing, then slide on the plate. So it looks like that. Before you start working on it, it should look just like this. You see that, how it looks? Once it looks like that, then you slide all of your wires through this and through the bracket, and then you hook it up. And make sure you have plenty of wire hanging out, for that way it's easy for you to hang up. And after you got that, then it's going to be so much easier for you to do this. Just hook it up, screw it on. And I cannot tell you, if I was a fly on the wall, I would be laughing at myself. Because at the end of the day, what we end up doing is only needing one link. That's all we needed. One link. Instead of the big old chain and the big old neck, we made it work. So only thing we needed was one link. and that's how it's supposed to look. At first I had it the wires going on the outside right here, and I was just like, that don't look right. So I had to take it loose, put it back up, and then I found out that this wasn't on the outside, so I was kind of confused myself. So I took it back down again, put it back up, and now it's the right way. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like in my kitchen. See, we had completely got rid of that neck up there, and we only needed one link. That was the adjustable link. It looks really nice. See? So, when I was making the video, at first, I noticed there was a couple of things that I was doing wrong. And the first thing that I did wrong was not read the manual, because clearly the manual had like a little picture, but it was still kind of confusing even after the fact when I hung it up and I went back and read the manual. Yeah, that I did the opposite. I read the manual after I hung it up, so don't do that. So I'm no electrician. It took me plenty of times to put it up, take it down, put it up, take it down. I almost gave up. Like several times. I had my kids in here helping me hold it up, but they did their best. It's like, my arms get tired, I'm like, I'm getting frustrated. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So what we did was not need this part, but instead we was running into a lot of problems, and that was because I had cut the wire short. I cut my wires too short, and I was running my wires outside of the proper hole, and I found out that I was supposed to run my wires through the bracket and through the little link part. At first I had it running on the outside, but I soon found out that it has to run through the link part, the attachment link. This part right here. I was supposed to run it through this part right here, but I ran it on the outside. And when I was screwing it in, I was like, it ain't looking right. So I know what I'm saying is probably repetitive stress to you enough that if you're going to put up this light fixture, if you have a short kitchen like me and you really love the light fixture, you can adjust it, but it's going to take a little brain, just a little brain, just a little thinking about it. So just remember, if you don't know what you're doing, call an electrician. But if you believe that you can do it, do not give up. I got discouraged for the first time because out of all the light fixtures in my house, this was the most difficult one. And I even hung up an outside fan, so that should let you know a little bit something about this one. So yeah, so just be safe whenever you're doing this. Don't get discouraged. You can actually do it. You know, it took a little minute, but you know, I recorded a video. Well, I recorded this video, but I didn't get all of it. You know, I didn't get the edits. I'm not really just video savvy on, you know, editing and voiceovers, but I'm hoping that I can learn that too, so that way that, you know, if I do make a little error, I'm not trying to misguide anyone. I'm not trying to lead anyone down the wrong path. So And so yeah, whenever you're doing this, just make sure you're being safe as possible. Make sure that you read the instructions if you have to. Little things like this, you would think that's not tricky, but it would definitely be tricky because it is stages and steps to everything that you do, especially when it comes to hanging up light fixtures and dealing with electricity.